Following on daily from the R Premadasa Stadium in Colombo, Steve Harmison alongside Scott Taylor. England have won a second ODI, Harmy, by 5 wickets, 1-0 in the series. Sets up nicely ahead of the decider on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, a good performance. Really good performance. With the ball, backed each other up in the field. I think England looked more slick. I think they looked sharper. I think they looked like a team that had the game plan and they executed the game plan. So there's been a lot of negativity around the England cricket team recently, but I think they were at it today. They were slick, and I think what they did was the facets of the game they built confidence from, where the ball well at the start, 36 in a power play is a good number. Then they went through the middle period, took wickets when they needed to take wickets. Spin bowlers bowled for each other at either end, and yeah, I think 220 was probably just below par. But I still thought it was a lot of runs on that wicket, especially subcontinent spinners against England, the way England play spin. So I still think at half time that there was a challenge on for England, and it was going to come to one man really to hold England together, and he showed his greatness again.
I spoke to Joe. We'll hear it on the podcast tomorrow. But one of the things you mentioned was side's ability to adapt and overcome from the mistakes they made on Thursday. That must be one of the most pleasing aspects, because when Bethel went, it could have been easily, and then when Root and Brook went in quick succession, it's so easy when to fold with the target so near. Sometimes the hardest thing when you're in a rut is getting over that hump.
It is, but it's also you build the confidence from the phase before. I think the phase before, which was the power play that England battered in. It started slowly. I think it was 15 or 5 overs. Ended up at 50, 51, I think it was. So that second half of the power play set them in good stead for ahead of the game when the spin bowlers come off. All of a sudden, if England are 20 for 1 against Howells there, and they're behind the game a little bit, then you got to take a risk against the spin bowlers. So always being a little, half a step ahead, I think was ideal. But that built confidence in for the next phase, the partnership between Rutan and Duckett, which then gave a huge amount of confidence, and it kicked the can down the road that Brook's not under as much pressure when he comes in, Butler's not under as much pressure when he cruises in, and I think that goes through a all-round very, very good, slick professional performance. And I think, barring a couple of lip-these, I think you've got to be so happy the way England did fought.
And how much does Harry need not only the win but a 40-odd? Obviously, it'd be disappointing not to get over the line in those conditions, but just for confidence for him and the team.
Yeah, like we spoke on the beach yesterday, I mean, it's about that noise needs to be gone via left. I think what Harry Brook needs to do now is turn them words into actions, turn them actions into performance, and performances into winning games. And it started, didn't it? He did that. The first 20 balls, he looked as though he's being in a little bit of a rut. He was caught on the crease a few times.
We saw Ben do that.
Yes, Ben Duckett did it both days, to be fair. But then the art of a top player is to put, the ball behind and leave it the ball behind and move on to the next target, to move on to the next ball and build confidence that way. And I think that's where Harry Brook is at this moment in time. He needed a score. He needed his team to win. He's done that. Let's get him to another one. Go and win again on Tuesday and start pushing the Australia, the New Zealand into the rear view mirror. And all of a sudden, let's start talking positively about not only the England cricket team, but Brendan McCullum, about Harry Brook, because, look, nobody likes talking negatively about it. I hate it when England lose. I really do. I love it when I see you win, especially when they play a performance like that. So the more performances-based positivity we could get any better, or stand them in good steads going forward. But the hard work was to get the win. Now, it's become even harder, because I don't see another surface. So are they going to play on that one again, or we're going to go back to Thursdays? So it means you're going to be trial by spin again. And so hopefully by then, you win a good toss. All of a sudden, England win a series, and the negativity starts to sort of quieten down.
And I think one of the things you can have when you have 6 spin options, it's the first time ever England have used 6 spinners in an ODI. You can probably have too many options and been quite overwhelmed. But I thought, you mentioned Harry, I thought he captained brilliant.
He did, and I think that obviously it helps when your bowlers back you up. But you can have 6 spare options. We've all gone 8 and over. A little bit like the criticism that Ben Stokes got in the Ashes. You can only manoeuvre your bowlers and change your bowlers. Can't bowl it for them. And the spin bowlers backed them up. I thought the Jack's being in the team was give Harry a different option, but it also give him room for flexibility in how he used Dawson and Rashid. I think he used Dawson and Rashid sometimes that Thursday when he had to, because he had to use them because the game dictated. And then when it come to the latter part of the gear, he was stuck because both of them had bowled their overs out. Jacks comes in the team, bowls well in the sort of 6 or 7 overs that he bowled, which meant it wasn't necessity to go back to Rehan, go back to Adil Rashid, go back to Liam Dawson. And I think because of that, he manoeuvred these bowlers very, very well, got them to bowl at the right time. He challenged the Sri Lankans with pressure from both ends for majority of the 50 overs.
One of the common themes we've seen throughout this tenure of the last 3 years of McCullum is funky stuff, whether it's funky fields in Pakistan in the early days, but Rehan Ahmed at the top. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, it was different. I mean, it wouldn't have been
unfair to throw him in. He's never opened in ODI cricket.
No, I don't think it's unfair. I think it would be unfair to judge him.
Yeah.
Don't judge him. Yeah. No, don't judge him. It would be unfair to judge him. It's different. And don't even judge the management, the higher off. Somebody had to go out to that ball he wasn't fit. My preferred choice, I think, in this format for England would be Ray Jacks. I think long term, I think balances the side out better when he's doing that. So don't look too much into Rehan. I thought he did a job that he was asked to do, and let's be fair, this kid will do anything you want to do. You'd rather bus home if you want, because that's what the character he is. So fair play for putting his hand up. And I could have better, but that's what he is.
And Hamid, just to end today, as we wrap up, how much will this win do for this group of players, the confidence amongst the team? Because it's been a tricky couple of months for England in all formats and on and off the field, really.
I mean, winning's the ultimate. You have to work hard and you have to earn the right to win. And I actually think England worked hard and they earned the right to win that game. And that should give them the biggest cheer when it comes to going forward and going next. All the adversity that I've been going through, stuck together, winning trying conditions. It wasn't the greatest pitch, it wasn't the greatest spectacle, and who cares? Really don't care. England got themselves in a position to win the game. They got themselves over the line. Bosh, thank you very much. Move on to the decider, and fingers crossed if they can get a win in the decider. Like I said before, that rear view mirror of what's been happening in the past hopefully can stay in the past, and England can stick their chests out, lift their heads up and move forward positively, because win on Tuesday, going into a format of probably what England have been strong at recently in T20s, going into a World Cup. You know, we could be talking by the sort of early March, you know, a lot more different about this England cricket team than what we had been, you know, over the Christmas period. And that, I think, has got to be the goal for this team, because we all want to see it. And I think this will go a long way to boosting the confidence in that dressing room.
The players have got a day off tomorrow. Serve we. We're going to hit Royal Colombo Golf Course, but we'll bring you a podcast after that. We'll hear from Joe Root and Harry Brook as well. But a reminder, we'll be back for the series decider, live and exclusive ball-by-ball commentary of the third one-day international here from Colombo on Tuesday morning. We'll be on air at 8:30 a.m. in the UK, ahead of a 9 a.m. start. Following on daily, we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.